Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity hockey is live and on the air. We are live at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is your Pioneer men's hockey team taking on Father Gabriel Richard, as Pioneer is the home team today. Just watched Huron beat Skyline here in this building. That was a 4-3 win by Huron, a team that Pioneer just beat back on the 4th. So fantastic to get to see a little parity between all the Ann Arbor teams. First, we want to start off and thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Men's Hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wing Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Grace Shaber Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kingling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nico Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coatry, DDS, PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company, Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, Whitney Johnson's Pilates. And by the way, speaking of Shannon Norman Coatry, Noah Coatry, former Pioneer player, just won a trick shot contest with the Michigan basketball team. He fired a football off into a basketball net, and he's won, I believe it's $2,500 scholarship towards his University of Michigan career there, and he could this Saturday double that with a half-court shot. So nice to see a lot of former Pioneer folk going on and doing wonderful things. His brother Ethan, who obviously played for Pioneer as well, should be coming into town playing with Western Michigan's ACHA team, playing Eastern Michigan's ACHA team, and Mikey Layton is now former Pioneer goaltender with the Eastern Michigan club team. So Pioneer versus Pioneer action happening here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Come out and cheer for both squads. Western taking on Eastern. Pioneer is 2-17-1 on the season. They just came off a win versus Huron. We'll talk more about that in a second. That was a 4-3 win. They tied Divine Child before that. They had a losing streak. The last win they had is all the way back to Bedford right at the end of last calendar year. So 2-17-1. So they are unbeaten in the last two games and would love to try and extend that streak, but they have a very, very, very good Father Gabriel Richard team that they're going to have to face. Taking a look at the last game, 4-3, Pioneer beat Huron. It was Pioneer scoring first in the first. They had a 1-0 lead. Then Pioneer scored twice in the second. Huron scored once in the second for a 3-1 lead going into the third. Huron scored 2 in the third to tie it up, and we went into overtime where Pioneer won in overtime, winning it 4-3. Taking a look at your goal scorers for the River Rats, it was Kosharski, K-Fish, as well as Hart scoring. The assists were 1 to Brush, 2 to Patterson, 3 to Brush. The first one was to Jensen Brush. The 3 was to Brennan Brush. And so 3 goals and 6 assists. Yates played between the pipes, 57 minutes and 19 seconds. Faced 27 shots on goal, saved 23 of them. On the other side, Pioneer, Yang scored for Pioneer, as well as Friedman with the goal, and Wilkins with 2 goals. So four goals for Pioneer, 2 assists. Armstrong had an assist, and Sutton had an assist. In between the pipes, it was Cass who faced, they don't say how many shots on goal, but made saves on all of them but 3 and got the win. We do have the SEC red stats in the system now, but not the Metro stats. So what I have for the leading scores for Pioneer may be a little bit not quite accurate, missing some information, but I do the best with what I can. With 8 points leading the way, Wilkins has 8 points. He has 8 goals. And also with 8 points is Commuton with 6 goals and 2 assists. 7 points in the third place. We have a trio with 7 points. Sutton has 7 points on 4 goals and 3 assists. Armstrong has 7 points on 1 goal and 6 assists. And Yang has 7 points on 4 goals and 3 assists. And that is your offensive leader. In SEC red action, Pioneer has been outscored 20 to 58. So that is negative 28 to the minus side. Pioneer has been outscored 11 in the first. They've been outscored 19 in the second. That's been the toughest period for them. And then 9 in the third. Pioneer has the lone overtime goal, although I believe there should be one additional one, but that's from the Metro League. Taking a look, the combined goalkeeper statistics for Pioneer, that's a .936 save percentage. Of course, all the shots aren't always recorded. And then the opponents have a .920 save percentage. Taking a look at Father Gabriel Richard, they are just a fantastic 18-2. They started off with a 5-game win streak, beating Farmington, Wyandotte Roosevelt, Huron, Pioneer, and Sheboygan. They lost 2 games back on December 3rd and December 14th to Sault Ste. Marie and to Gros Isle, but then they have won every game since then. So it is 13 games in a row winning streak. Their last win was versus Gros Isle, so they ripped off wins from December 16th to now, beating North Oakland, Divine Child, Huron, Skyline, Wyandotte Roosevelt again, Northview, Milford, Bishop Foley United, University Liggett, Riverview Cabrini, Woodhaven. They beat Skyline 10-0 in their last in the game on the 4th, and then on Monday they beat Gros Isle 6-3. Taking a little bit of a deeper dive into that game, both teams scored in the first. It was 1-1 going into the first intermission. Both teams scored twice in the second, so it was 3-3 going into the third. But then Father Gabriel Richard turned it on, and the Irish put in 3 goals in the third to win 6-3. Gros Isle was 1 for 2 on the power play, serving 4 penalty minutes. Father Gabriel Richard was 0 for 2. Taking a look at I think I flipped that over. There it is. Taking a look at the scores in that game for Gros Isle, it was 3 goals for Hubler. The assists were to Simons, Hennessy. That would be Aiden Hennessy, Owen Hennessy had an assist. Sobachowski had an assist. Cookson had an assist, and Worsley had an assist, so 3 goals, 6 assists. Thompson played between the pipes and lost, facing 29 shots on goal, saving 24 of them. For the Irish, it was Husak with a goal, Kosicki with a goal, 2 goals for Dumpy, a goal for Etter, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one was Reiser, who had a goal. So 6 goals, 7 assists. That would be to Husak with an assist. Kosicki had 2 assists. Cesarini had an assist. Dumpy had an assist. Lipinski had an assist, the all-time points leader for Father Gabriel Richard as of this season, Lipinski, and Reiser had an assist. So 6 goals, 7 assists. Kelly played between the pipes all 51 minutes, faced 23 shots on goal, and saved 20 of them. Your top point scorers for Father Gabriel Richard. Who do Pioneer have to watch out for? Well, number 18, the captain, Lipinski, is going to be someone who, again, has scored more points than anyone else in Father Gabriel Richard Green Hills history. So he's going to be someone that Pioneer has to watch out for in the Irish uniform, as he has 70 points on the season, 38 goals, and 32 assists. Second would be Kulik, number 12, who has 57 points on 24 goals and 33 assists. Dumpy has 34 points on 14 goals and 20 assists. And then tied for the number 4 spot is Kowalczyk with 28 points on 8 goals and 20 assists. And Reiser, who has 28 points on 11 goals and 17 assists. It has been a committee goalkeeping. Benowitz has played 8 games, Kelly has played 7, and Burke has played 6. Best goals against average would be Burke with a .99. Kelly has a 1.65, and Benowitz has a 1.75. Save percentage leading the way is Kelly with a 9.1, or excuse me, is Burke with a 9.36. Second is Benowitz with a 9.22, and Kelly with a 9.12. Father Gabriel Richard has outscored their opponents 132 goals to 29. They have 39 goals in the first. Their opponents have 11, so that'd be plus 28 in the first. They have 49 in the second, 9 goals for the opponents, so that would be plus 40 in the second, and then they have 43 goals in the third, 9 for the opponents. That would be plus 34. One overtime goal for the Irish, so that makes it 132 goals, 29 against. Taking a look at the combined goalkeeper statistics, the Irish have a 1.51 goals against average with a 9.22 save percentage and 3 shutouts. The opponents have a 6.79 goals against average and an 8.47 save percentage. Well, let's stop for a moment and let's talk a little bit about an upcoming event. As you want to save the date for the Ann Arbor Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash. It's going to be on April 15th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi in Ann Arbor. This is the biggest fundraising event for Pioneer Athletics all year long. We would love to see as many people out there supporting all the wonderful athletes and all the wonderful teams for Pioneer High School. Again, that is the Ann Arbor Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash that is going to be on Saturday, April 15th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. So make sure you check that out as both teams have come up and are getting warmed up. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
One score to report from earlier today. It is Pioneer women's hockey. Pioneer women's varsity hockey ended up tying Sky Ronbach on senior day. They ended up tying going into overtime at 2-2 and couldn't settle it in overtime. So they ended up tying over at Vets Memorial Ice Arena. That game started at 5 o'clock. We are about 2 minutes and 13 seconds away from, well, maybe an ice resurfacing, but most likely starting lineups and the national anthem is they actually got the ice at 7:30. You can never kind of tell how things will go. The game before this was Huron beating Skyline, as that was a 4-3 win by Huron over Skyline. As all the teams in the Dan Gillick Ann Arbor Cup competing today, back-to-back, Huron versus Skyline, now Pioneer versus Father Gabriel Richard. These two teams did tangle earlier, as it was Father Gabriel Richard winning that game, as that was a 9-0 win by Father Gabriel Richard back on November 28th. So Pioneer is going to look to try and make it a lot closer and see if they can get a nice win. Again, they've been unbeaten in the last 2. They tied and then beat Huron in the last game, so they're looking to try and keep that streak going, whereas Father Gabriel Richard has a 13-game winning streak going. They'd love to get it into 14 and beyond. So this will be a tough game for both of these squads. Tomorrow we will have Saline versus Pioneer here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, and Jeff Cass will be on the call because I'm going to be broadcasting the Pioneer women's junior varsity and varsity basketball games. Those got moved from Monday to Thursday, so we end up getting 2 crews around, and Jeff Cass has been fantastic helping us out all season long, and we cannot thank him enough. So he'll be on that call for tomorrow versus, again, a very good Saline team. So Pioneer, not an easy road happening right now. Taking a look at the upcoming games for Pioneer, again, Saline tomorrow at 7:30. Then they will host Skyline here on the 11th. That'll be a 7:30 game at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Then they will be at the Toledo Ice House versus Bedford, a team they beat just last game of the last calendar year. That is on the 15th, 8 p.m. And then they have a game versus Plymouth at 8 p.m. on the 17th. That is going to be away. That should be at the Arctic edge of Canton. So that's what's coming up as we're getting ready. All the players gathering the pucks and getting them set where they need to get them, and all gathered up, getting ready to go. Pioneer in their dark purple jerseys with the dark stripe across the middle. Numbers in white on the back and on the sleeves. Block A on the front. And dark helmets. Father Gabriel Richard is in their Is that the pewter color jerseys with the darker green across the sleeves on the front? They have their nice, wonderful logo, and then on the back, the numbers in green on the back and on the sleeves, dark pants and dark helmets. Father Gabriel Richard, Green Hills looking to add to their win total. Pioneer looking to steal a win away from them, as the 5 starters for Pioneer out to our left. And now the Irish have their 5 starters off to the right. And we are about to get underway with the starting lineups and the national anthem, and then we will have puck drop. As all the Irish getting set over across the way into the bench. The officials talking things over right in front of the scores bench, and now public address announcer welcoming everyone here. Now for the starting lineups. Reiser starting for the Irish, comes out to the blue line. Kosicki starting for the Irish, skates out to the blue line. Dunphy comes out to the blue line. Cesarini starting on defense for the Irish, skates out to the blue line. And White, the other blue liner, comes out starting. And Benowitz is the goaltender for the Irish. Head coach for the Irish is Clint Robert. As Pioneer, Ward comes out starting. Wilkins starting for Pioneer. Sutton starting for Pioneer. Sanborn starting blue liner for Pioneer. And Rowe, the other blue liner for Pioneer. And in goal, Cass. Head coach of the Pioneer is Drew Collins. Now, ladies and gentlemen, down in America, the playing of the national anthem. Try to avoid the big clunk there when all the players drop their sticks. As 17 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to go here. Pioneer versus the Irish. As Pioneer getting their helmets on, gathered across the way, getting last moment instructions from their coaching staff. The Irish gathered around Benowitz to our right. The Irish have a student section right back behind Benowitz, as they have a number of students here. Good attendance for a Wednesday evening game. Lots of folks coming in. We appreciate everyone joining us, and thank you for, if you can't make it, for being here and watching. We appreciate you supporting all these wonderful, amazing athletes. Face-off as Ward in to take the face-off on the other side, Kosicki. As we are getting ready to go, 17 minutes up on the clock, and we are underway as that puck gathered, trying to bring it in. Dunphy dumps it deep into the Pioneer zone, gathering it back behind, trying to pull it away. Back there is Sanborn. Sanborn had it. Now that sent top of the into the near slot, fired into the near corner by White. Trying to pull that away. The Irish have it. Trying a wraparound attempt. Cass trying to tick that away. Now the puck into the near corner. Here comes here comes Ward outside the near circle. Kosicki trying to pull that away. Right back behind the goal. Here comes Sanborn down the near boards. Sanborn has that chipped off the side of the net. Moved away. Now coming over. Reiser has it underneath the far circle. All the way back. Top of the far circle. Cesarini puts it into the far corner. And pulled back behind onto the far circle, coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it is Wilkins. Wilkins into the Irish zone and in along the end boards. Wilkins trying to pull it off the far circle. That comes to Commutin. Commutin with a shot deflected into the near corner. And gathered up by the Irish as Cesarini puts it back behind and that rimmed all the way around. Keeping it in was Ress at the far point. That comes to the near point. Commutin puts it right back behind the Irish goal. Cesarini sends it for a ride. Ress has it right outside of the far circle, trying to move it around. That poke. Reiser has it now coming in. Commutin into the far corner. Outside the far circle, Commutin with it. Shot, and sticked away by Benowitz into the far corner. Dunphy trying to get it out of the zone. That grab, top of the far circle. That shot just goes wide back behind the Irish goal. As Commutin has it outside the near circle, that's sent all the way down the ice. Ress has it, coming down the far boards, fires it right back in as Benowitz with the save comes top of the near circle, racing in. Armstrong backhands it, out in front, backhanded shot by Commutin, and a save by Benowitz. The puck back into the neutral zone, spinning with it, Commutin. As that tipped forward, Commutin has it top of the near circle with a shot that deflects outside the far circle. Armstrong trying to pull it away from White. Now Yang trying to get to it as that pulled ahead by Kulik. Pioneer grabs it in the neutral zone, trying to go the other direction. It's Commutin. Now that gathered up, coming into the near corner is Kowalczyk. Puts it outside the far circle. That picked up there, fired ahead by Palmer. Gathered up, here comes the Irish as Kowalczyk puts it deep into the near corner. Lipinski, wraparound attempt, and he scores. No goal, waved off. Waved off. As Lipinski wraparound attempt, waved off by the officials. Lipinski, the all-time points leader for the Irish. In a proud history of a hockey team. No small feat. Holt taking the face-off. That comes right back, covered up by Cass. Face-off again in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's left. As Kulik in to take the face-off. Holt on the other side for Pioneer. That puck into the far corner, pulling it back around. Kowalczyk into the near corner with it. Kowalczyk sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Holt into the far corner. And outside the far circle, Husick puts it back into the far corner where Miller trying to pull it away. And it's sent to the far point, held in there by Kowalczyk. As Pioneer trying to dig it out of the far corner. Now Kulik sends it around the boards outside the near circle. Palmer trying to peel it away there. Garcia in, trying to get it off of the boards. That comes back to the near point as Kowalczyk holds it in there. The puck brought in, Kulik trying a centering attempt. And deflects in, a save by Cass. 13:44 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Pioneer versus the Irish. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's right. In to take the face-off is Ward. On the other side is Naughton. And puck brought back. Top of the near circle. Shot there by Eder. Comes outside the near circle. And all the way back into the neutral zone. All the way into the Irish zone, into the near corner. Naughton trying to pull it away. Wilkins tried to get that. Sutton in along the end boards. As that will be a whistle there. 13:28 left to go here in the first. As that is going to be a penalty. As Pioneer will be on the penalty kill. As into the box goes Wilkins for holding. And 13-28. That puck all the way over and along the far boards. And rifled all the way down the ice. Banked off of the near boards. Lipinski has it back behind his own goal. Lipinski coming up the far boards. Armstrong trying to make it difficult for him. Lipinski drop pass over to Kulik. Kulik sends it to Lipinski, who gains the zone at the near point. Lipinski outside the near circle. Now into the near corner. Lipinski spinning with it. And sends it to the near point to Kowalczyk. Now Lipinski over on the far circle. Shot. That one just went high. As Lipinski gets it back top of the near circle. Goes high slot. And Lipinski moves it top of the far circle as that drop back by Kulik into the high slot for Lipinski. Kulik has it top of the far circle. Now Kulik comes high slot. Kulik moves it top of the near circle for Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk back to the near point. Feeds it on the far circle for Lipinski. Lipinski high slot now. Fades over onto the near side. Drop pass over to Kulik. 1 minute left to go in the power play for the Irish. Kulik top of the far circle. Now outside the far circle, sends it over Lipinski, top of the near circle with the shot. That deflects back into the neutral zone as the Irish have to set up to avoid an offsides. Lipinski brings it in on the near circle. Shot saved by Cass. Kulik outside the far circle sends it right back around and into the far corner. Shot from the top of the crease, from the far high slot, and that put in as a goal by the Irish at 12:03. It was a shot, and I believe Cass was screened. I don't think he had a chance to see that one coming, as it looks like Kulik got that one. As we'll see if there are any assists, but at 12:03, power play goal for the Irish. They go up 1-0. Face off right at center ice, comes back. Palmer moves it over and along the far boards to Usyk, then gets it back. Palmer right to the Pioneer blue line, knocked away by Miller, and trying to send it back is Kosicki. Kosicki gets it to the Pioneer blue line. That pulled back by Wilkins. Wilkins over his own blue line through the neutral zone. Wilkins gains the Irish zone outside the near circle. Tipped away. As Kulik on the goal. Kowalczyk and Lipinski on the assist on the Kulik goal. Here comes Wilkins with a shot and a save by Benowitz. The puck comes outside the near circle. Sutton trying to get it pulled away by Palmer. Palmer backhands it. That on the far circle. Spinning shot by Pioneer. And into the far corner. Pulled back out. Nelson trying to pull it off of the boards outside of the far circle as Kosicki gets it to the far point. Shot there by Sanborn, comes to the near point. Chipped out into the neutral zone by Dumpy. Now the puck all the way across the way. Kulik, the lone goal scorer so far, puts it into the Pioneer zone. Ward chips it back out into the neutral zone where Eder has it at his own blue line. Now Palmer sets up shop, drifts back into his own zone. Palmer over his own blue line, over center ice. Palmer down the near boards, gains the Pioneer zone. Drop pass over for Kulik, and that heads all the way back into the Irish zone. Commutin providing pressure, the puck into the near corner for Eder. Eder coming back, that tipped away, battle for it. As Yang over there trying to get it away. Commutin rims it around outside the far circle as White feeds it ahead all the way back. Coming in, Lipinski, top of the far circle. Lipinski gets it over to Eder on the near circle with a shot that just goes wide. Armstrong trying to get to it. That puck loose on the far circle. Now over, Kowalczyk with a shot saved by Cass, and that will bounce up into the netting. 1-0, the Irish with the lead. 10-11 left to go here in the first. Face-off is going to be in the Pioneer zone. That's going to be to Cass's right. As that puck, trying to pull it away, Commutin, and in along the near boards. Back to the blue line, over to Eder. Eder moves it over to Scherbach. Coming in, Pioneer had it tipped back into the neutral zone, fired ahead by Ress all the way back deep into the Irish zone. And gathered up back behind by Scherbach into the neutral zone right at center ice. Brought ahead by Naughton. Naughton, top of the near circle. Naughton with the shot, saved by Cass as rebound fired over the goal into the near corner. as a centering attempt went right through the crease, back to the near point. Sherbeck trying to get it back deep. Pioneer knocks it away. Now that back in along the near boards, fired back in along the far boards. Ress has it there. Ress trying to bring it ahead. Ress firing it outside the far circle for Armstrong. Armstrong moves it in along the far boards. Coming back, top of the far circle, centering attempt, trying to get it over to Ress. That knocked away by Kosicki. In along the far boards, Reiser feeds it over to Dumpy. Dumpy gains the Pioneer zone in the high slot. That tipped into the near corner. Dumpy, that shot sticked away by Cass. The puck right back behind the goal into the far corner. Trying to bring it ahead, and along the far boards is Armstrong. Battling Kosicki. Armstrong backhands it out into the neutral zone. Grabbed by Dumpy right at center ice. And knocked away. Here comes Holt. Holt comes in as that sticked away by Benowitz. And Garcia with another chance and into the near corner. Irish have it at center ice. Bringing it ahead is Kosicki. Kosicki gains his own. Shot from the high slot. And put outside the far circle. Hudson with it there. Hudson fires it into the neutral zone. Tipped right back in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Reiser trying to send it into the Pioneer zone. While Rowe trying to fire it back deep. Into the far corner, picked up by Sanborn. Sanborn moves it to the far point, but that held in by the Irish. Right back behind the Pioneer goal, Sanborn has it. Lipinski, centering attempt to put it right on the far circle with a shot from Kulik. Saved by Cass. Palmer holds it in at the near point. Shot by Kulik out in front. That knocked away. Good job by Sanborn to clean it out of the slot. Right from the near point, shot by Palmer. Deflects back in along the end boards. Right out in front. Good job by Rowe to knock it away in along the near boards. Fired all the way back deep. That will be icing down in the Irish zone. They'll come back into the Pioneer end. Pioneer able to get a line change, though, because you can change on an icing in high school. Not so in college, not so in the pros. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's right. Lipinski trying to get to it in along the end boards. That knocked down, loose underneath the near circle. Ward trying to get to it now. Sutton. Lipinski pulls it right back behind. 7:33 left to go as penalty upcoming to Pioneer on a delayed penalty. That at 7:30. As tripping the call. And into the box, it looks like Edwards, and it is. So Edwards goes off for tripping at 7:30, and Pioneer is on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes, 1-0. Irish with the lead over Pioneer. Armstrong taking the face-off in the far face-off circle. That puck all the way back to the Irish blue line. Gathered up there, Lipinski brings it ahead over center ice. Lipinski gains his own, top of the far circle. Outside the far circle, Lipinski moves it high slot over to Kulik. Back over to Lipinski. Lipinski comes high slot, now works his way in. Shot goes just wide to the far side. Kulik with it, top of the far circle. Kulik feeds it onto the near circle for Kowalczyk. There's a shot from the top of the near circle out in front. Cass with the save, another shot. Cass with another save, and is right back behind the Pioneer goal. All the way back to the near point. Lipinski trying to knock that away. Deflected by Yang. Back into the neutral zone, where the Irish will reset. 1:16 left to go in the Irish power play as Kulik has it high slot now for the Irish. Irish with the 1-0 lead. Lipinski with the shot. That deflected out in front. Cass able to make a save, keeping it 1-0. 6:35 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 1-0. Pioneer up 1-0. Irish up 1-0 on Pioneer. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Kosicki in to take the face-off. On the other side is Commutin. That comes top of the near circle over to Dumpy. Dumpy back over to Husick. Now high slot coming in. Eder with a shot. That goes into the far corner. Outside the far circle. Tipped back by Kosicki. Now grabbed by Rowe. Rowe trying to fire it all the way down the ice. Back to the far point. Eder gets it on the far circle. Dumpy into the far corner. Dumpy drops it there as Kosicki moves it all the way back to Eder at the far point. 39 seconds left to go in the Irish power play as the puck in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Dumpy into the far corner now. Dumpy outside the far circle, gets it back to Eder at the far point. Eder skates his way in, shot saved by Cass, and pulled in along the near boards as Commuton fires it all the way down the ice. Wilkins trying to make it tough. That pulled by Dumpy, firing it ahead. The Irish gain the zone as Amos with a shot that just goes wide. The puck in along the near boards, held in at the near point by Husick. Gathered up there as here comes Wilkins. Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins gains the zone with a shot that knocked away by Benowitz into the far corner. Picked up by Eder there. Eder bringing it ahead. Pioneer back to full strength. Eder has that deflected into the near corner. Is Sutton that back? Commuton fires it, and that deflected up into the netting. 5:17 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Father Gabriel Richard with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off will be to Benowitz's left. In the near face-off circle as Yang trying to get to it, back to the near point. Miller with the shot that got knocked down out in front. As that fired all the way down by Cesarini coming in. As there's a shot by Mazzotti. Pulled as Holt trying to grab it, loose on the far circle. Controlled by Nelson, puts it outside the far circle for Naughton. And it deflects underneath the far circle as Sanborn has it in his own zone, trying to fire it ahead. And tipped as Naughton battling in the near corner or in the far corner of the Pioneer zone. As the puck in along the end boards, Naughton checked as that's sent back to the near point for White. White banks it outside the near circle as Nelson goes high slot in the Pioneer zone. Moves it top of the far circle. And grab, trying to fire it ahead. Here comes Yang. Yang for Pioneer through the neutral zone. Gets into the Irish zone. Yang into the far corner. Centering attempt. That deflected all the way back. Top of the near circle. Trying to fire it back deep as Miller is Holt into the near corner. Armstrong trying to dig it away as that puck on the near circle. Holt trying to pull that back. That deflects back in along the near boards of the neutral zone as a heavy hit. And there is a penalty upcoming to the Irish. As Holt went down, he pops up. He looks like he's okay. As into the box goes Cesarini. And at 4:08, interference the call. So Pioneer will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes. 4:08 left to go here in the first. It's a game that the Irish won 9-0 early in the season back in November. The puck brought ahead as Kulik hands it in along the far boards of the neutral zone, puts it into the Pioneer zone. And grabbed on the far circle as Commuton fires it into the neutral zone as Sutton trying to get it deep. And picked up by Yang right at the Irish blue line. Loose at center ice. Now here comes Commuton, who gains the Irish zone. Commuton, top of the near circle. Now into the near corner in the Irish zone. And sent all the way down the ice. Bringing it ahead, Lipinski on the near circle. Lipinski goes back behind the goal. Wrap around attempt, fire, and a score. As Lipinski able to put it in. Short-handed at 3:30 as Lipinski. That Kulik. I thought it was Lipinski who put it in. Kulik first in line there. As that at 3:30. As a goal by the Irish. They're up 2-0. Pioneer still on the power play. 1 minute 23 seconds left to go. Here on the power play as that's brought in by Sutton. Sutton top of the near circle. Backhands it into the near corner. Sutton trying to pull it away from Eder. Oh, in there as well as Commuton has it into the far corner. Commuton outside the far circle, trying to get it away from Sherbeck. Now Sutton trying to tip it away. So it is Kulik on the goal. As Kulik with the goal, Lipinski with the assist, as that is his second assist, Kulik's second goal. And puck into the near corner, Pioneer. Trying to pull it away. Armstrong back to the near point. Sanborn has it. Sanborn outside the near circle. Sanborn puts it back. Trying to pull it deep. Armstrong into the near corner of the Irish zone. 33 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. The Irish clear it all the way down the ice. Cass will stop it. Feed it ahead to Sanborn. He's top of the near circle of his own zone. Sanborn over his own blue line. And deflected by Dumpy. Dumpy pulls it into the Pioneer zone. Dumpy with the shot, saved by Cass. Commuting into the far corner of his own zone. 12 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play as Holt tries to knock it out of the zone, but held in at the near point by Dumpy. Dumpy, shot that put into the near corner. Now brought ahead down the near boards. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins over center ice. It's the Irish back to full strength. The Irish send it down the far boards of the neutral zone. And gathered and fired right back in by Hudson. Down the near boards, Palmer feeds it as that tipped into the near corner. Picked up by Friedman. Friedman trying to get it over to Garcia. High slot and pulled by Husick back outside the far circle. Lipinski there as the puck shot by Amos. That got deflected by Friedman. The puck into the far corner as Kowalczyk puts it back, and that slips past the far point all the way back into the Irish zone. Husick has it on the far circle of his own zone, rims it into the near corner for Palmer. Palmer trying to bring it up the near boards. Lipinski over his own blue line, over center ice. Lipinski into the Pioneer zone. Lipinski stops outside the near circle. Lipinski now into the near corner. That one's all the way around the boards. Husick with the shot. That got deflected by Pioneer. Now Garcia sends it out into the neutral zone. Palmer in along the near boards, fires it right back in, takes a check from Friedman. Rowe back in along the end boards, that fired all the way down as that's grabbed. Cesarini has it along the near boards, gets it to Lipinski into the Pioneer zone. Centering attempt in the slot, trying to get to Amos, that knocked away. Here comes Pioneer racing down the far boards and trying to get in is Yang. That moved back, high slot in the Irish zone. Lipinski backhands it, still held in, now back into the neutral zone. Commuting gains the Irish zone in along the near boards. White gathers it up in along the end boards into the far corner. Commuting backhands it, trying to center it. That knocked down by Lipinski outside the far circle. Kulik has it as he goes on the far circle of his own zone, gets it ahead. Here comes Lipinski down the near boards of the neutral zone. Lipinski gains the Pioneer zone, trying to drop it back to Kulik, but that deflects, and again, all the way back. 7 seconds, 6 seconds left to go in the first. The puck along the near boards, 3 seconds left to go. As that fired deep by Kulik, and that will do it for the first. Pioneer down as the Irish have the 2-0 lead at the end of one. Let's play a little bit of messages from the MHSAA. Then we will have our intermission scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. At the first intermission, the Irish 2, Pioneer nothing.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
working on a little bit of our setup in the intermission, trying to make sure where I stand, I'm not in the way. Sorry about that earlier. The camera was just a little further back than it normally is. So we fixed that, so I'll do the intermission scoreboard report in the second intermission. As the officials come right back out onto the ice, it is 2-0 Irish with the lead, as it was a Pioneer penalty at 13:28 as Wilkins went off for holding. Then it was a Irish goal that by Kulik as Kowalczyk and Lipinski assisted at 12:03. That was a power play goal. Pioneer took another penalty, that a tripping call to Edwards at 7:30. Then it was a penalty to the Irish as Cesarini went off for interference at 4:08. Then it was the second goal. That was a short-handed goal by the Irish, as it was Kulik again from Lipinski. So Kulik with 2 goals, Lipinski with 2 assists, and Kowalczyk with an assist thus far. As we head into the second, Pioneer looking to cut into the Irish's 2-0 lead. Pioneer going from right to left here in the second period. As Cass gets set up down to our right, gets the crease marked up just the way he likes it. Over on the left-hand side, Benowitz skating around, getting ready to go. Again, tomorrow we will have Pioneer versus Saline here from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, but a little programming change. The Pioneer JV women's basketball game and the Pioneer varsity women's basketball game have been moved from Friday to Thursday. So I will be broadcasting those, and James Wiseman will be broadcasting with Jeff Cass on the mic here for Pioneer men's hockey versus Saline. We appreciate everything Jeff does for us. That brought down the far boards, bringing it ahead. Eder fires it in. Puck loose, saved by Cass, comes into the far corner. Sanborn has it right back behind his own goal, trying to get it over to Wilkins. That pinned by Lipinski right back behind the goal. Coming back out to the far point. That held in by Eder there, now top of the far circle. That intercepted. Here comes Pioneer. Chipped away from Wilkins. Coming in, Husick gets it onto the near circle. Wilkins intercepts. Wilkins down over center ice. Wilkins into the Irish zone. Wilkins trying to get a shot away as he gets tied up. Wilkins goes into the boards, and that is going to be a penalty. And 16-18. Penalty on the Irish. As into the box, trying to get a number. That's going to be Eder in the box. I believe that was a holding. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. As Reiser picks up that face-off, comes right back behind White. Fires it around the boards. That held in at the far point by Wilkins. Wilkins trying to backhand it outside the far circle. Commutin has it. Commutin trying to fire it back. That tip back to Wilkins. Wilkins chips it outside the far circle. Now Armstrong comes right back behind the goal. Firing it out in front. Yang with the shot. That goes over the crossbar. Picked up out in front. Now that knocked by Benowitz back to the blue line. Held in by Wilkins. Shot out in front. Benowitz with another save. Commutin has it at the far point. Commutin with a shot that goes just wide outside the near circle. Gathered up there by Wilkins. Wilkins has it tipped away. Now coming down the near boards. Here comes Reiser. Reiser has that poked away but brought into, nope, offsides. As it was poked away from Reiser, was trying to get over as Gosicki went to come in. And Reiser hadn't quite cleared the zone yet. 15:31 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Irish with the lead. 1:13 left to go in the Pioneer power play. It's Armstrong trying to get it into the zone, pulled away by Kulik. Kulik gains the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Kulik centering attempt. Oh boy, Cass able to just get a piece of it as Lipinski right out in front. The puck underneath the far circle as that fired ahead by Commutin all the way down, and that will be icing. It'll head back into the Pioneer zone. As Commutin, Wilkins, Sanborn, Armstrong, and Yang out there for Pioneer. Lipinski, Kulik, Sherbeck, as well as at the far point was Palmer. for the Irish. Irish put it right back to the Pioneer blue line now. Racing ahead with it is Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins gains the Irish zone on the far circle. Wilkins stops there, goes outside the far circle. Wilkins, top of the far circle now in the Irish zone. Gets it back to the far point to Commutin. Commutin skates in, top of the far circle, now moves it into the far corner for Wilkins. Wilkins puts it right back behind the goal. Centering attempt goes right through the crease outside the near circle. Sanborn trying to get it. That pulled the other direction as here comes Lipinski. Lipinski offsides the call. As the Irish looking to get a shorthanded goal, but that will come outside of the Pioneer zone in the near face-off circle. Irish have the 2-0 lead. 14:32 left to go here in the second. 14 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. As Dunphy in to take the face-off for the Irish. Ward on the other side. Cesarini puts it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Holt trying to knock it away. Battle for it is Dunphy trying to pull it. That tipped back. Now Ress has it at his own blue line. Puts it down the near boards for Sutton. Sutton battling Kowalczyk. Now bringing it ahead is Ress. Ress comes down the far boards. Backhands it, and that goes into the Pioneer bench. Irish back to full strength. 14:08 left to go here in the second. Irish up 2-0 on Pioneer. Face-off is going to be right at center ice. Nelson in to take the face-off for the Irish. It's Holt on the other side. That puck in along the far boards, bringing it ahead. The Irish fire it deep as Etter puts it right back behind Cass. Trying to grab it as Ress into the near corner. Hudson trying to pull it off of the near boards and get it back into the neutral zone. Held in at the near point. Now Pioneer gets it down the near boards of the neutral zone where Dunphy fires it right back into the Pioneer zone. Ress firing it ahead, now brought right back in by Usyk. Usyk outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Centering attempt. Sticked along outside the far circle by Cass. Now Etter with the shot from the far point. Into the far corner. Friedman trying to get it out of the zone. Etter holds it in again. Into the far corner. Friedman rifles it. This time he gets out into the neutral zone, while Kowalczyk will retreat to his own blue line. Now Usyk puts it back over and along the far boards. Etter brings it ahead over to Kowalczyk down the near boards. Kowalczyk outside the near circle into the slot. Shot on the Pioneer goal as Cass puts it into the far corner. Centering attempt gets all the way to the high slot by Emmett. Fires it back. Loose underneath the near circle. Wouldn't settle down for Usyk. Now Pioneer coming down the near boards of the neutral zone. And brought right back by Emmett. Emmett for the Irish. Gains the Pioneer zone, top of the far circle. Drop pass there. Loose, tipped away as Garcia tries to get it back into the neutral zone, but Emmett has it. In the slot, shot. That goes, deflects up into the netting. As that was Lipinski with the shot. Pioneer defender got a stick in the way. I believe that was Friedman to stop a good scoring opportunity. 12:40 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Irish with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off is going to be to Cass's left in the near face-off circle. As Kulik in to take the face-off. Is on the other side. Commutin rims it all the way around the boards over to Yang outside the far circle. As that is going to be a whistle stoppage in play as it went up into the Irish bench. They'll face off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's right with 12:33 left to go. 2-0. Irish with the lead. Commutin again versus Lipinski. And puck underneath the far circle. Good job by Rowe, keeping a centering pass away. And here comes Pioneer down the near boards or down the far boards of the neutral zone. Wilkins with the shot. That goes just over the crossbar. Picked up outside the near circle. Kulik trying to fire it into the neutral zone. Brought ahead. Here comes Lipinski on the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Lipinski with the shot and a save by Cass. Lipinski with a breakaway one-on-one. Cass able to get the save. 12:10 left to go. Lipinski ever dangerous, fast, and an excellent shooter. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's left. 12:10 left to go. As that puck top of the near circle. And comes out into the neutral zone, trying to fire it ahead. Sutton puts it deep into the Irish end. White into the far corner for the Irish, chips it. And back to the far point, trying to hold it in his ward. The puck right in front of the Pioneer bench, now sent right back into the Irish zone. Cesarini has it along the near boards. That tipped back right in front of the Irish bench and fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing as it was fired from the wrong side of center ice and will come back into the Pioneer zone. Well, the Michigan men's basketball team just got a win as they beat the Cornhuskers 93-72. Earlier today, it was the Pioneer women's hockey team in a 2-2 tie with Skyron on senior night. Pulled ahead. Here comes Pioneer over their own blue line. Over center ice. Sanborn comes in. That deflected right back in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Ward chasing it back. Now Edwards has it right back behind his own goal. Rims it around the boards. The puck outside the far circle. Trying to dig it off of that far circle. Kosicki had it. Now that fired back deep by White. Deflected outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Trying to dig it off of the boards. Kosicki with the shot that goes just high. The puck outside the far circle now in the Pioneer zone. White avoids a check. Now he gets checked off the puck, but the puck underneath the near circle, centering attempt, got knocked down by Sanborn. Dunphy back behind the goal. Sends it for White outside the far circle in the Pioneer zone. White again trying to chip it along the far boards. Held in as Dunphy trying to put it back deep. Sanborn back behind his own goal. Sanborn for Pioneer comes underneath the far circle of his own zone. 10:42 left to go here in the second. 2-0 as the Irish have the lead. Sanborn still trying to avoid pressure by the Irish. That comes along the near boards right at the Pioneer blue line. Sutton sends it to center ice. That brought ahead by Armstrong, who fires it back into the far corner. White takes it back behind the Pioneer goal, or back behind the Irish goal, outside and along the near boards. Ahead to Amos. White coming center ice. That's stolen away. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins into the Pioneers or into the Irish zone. That chipped right back behind the goal. Out in front of the save by Benowitz. Good opportunity for Pioneer. 10:07 left to go here in the second. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle that to Benowitz's left. In to take the face-off is Wilkins. On the other side is Naughton. As that puck brought ahead, tipped by Amos coming over. Commutin trying to pull it away as the puck bouncing right at center ice, or right at the blue line, and put in deep. Brought right back behind the Irish goal in along the near boards. Amos trying to help it ahead. Held in at the near point by Ress. Ress gets it over to Yang. Yang, top of the far circle. That brought down the far boards by Etter. Gets it out of the Irish zone. Naughton backhands it into the Pioneer zone where Friedman fires it right back into the neutral zone. Naughton resets, gets it over to Amos at the Pioneer blue line, and tipped away, fired, bouncing puck. Cass puts it into the far corner. Friedman and Naughton tangling in the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Nice move, Pioneer coming ahead. Commutin has it ahead to Wilkins at his own blue line. Wilkins coming down the near boards into the Irish zone. Wilkins makes a move, taken off of the puck as it's right back behind Benowitz. Pulling it ahead, the Irish trying to chip it, Commutin. And that save by Benowitz. Good opportunity for Pioneer, but Benowitz with the save. 2-0, Irish with the lead. 9:06 left to go here in the second. Again, Irish won the first game between these two, 9-0. Pioneer trying to keep it a lot closer and trying to pull off an upset. As Holt sends it along the far boards of the Irish zone. Palmer fires it all the way ahead. Here comes Lipinski. Lipinski moves it over to Kulik. Kulik with a shot. That goes wide to the far side. Trying to fire it back deep is Palmer underneath the near circle. Centering attempt. Shot by Kulik. Deflected. Blocker saved by Cass into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Lipinski has it on the far circle. Lipinski with a shot. Again, blocker saved by Cass. Right back and along the end boards. Right out in front. Tipped away. Good job by Miller to clear the crease. And coming over high slot, Kowalczyk with a shot, another save by Cass. 8:30 left to go here in the second. The puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. 2-0, Irish with the lead. Miller trying to pull it off of the end boards. Lipinski out in front. Kowalczyk couldn't get everything on it, and that rifled all the way down the ice. Shot on goal as Benowitz saves it, so no icing. And pulled back behind as Scherbeck fires it to the Irish blue line. Coming the other direction, racing ahead, drop pass, that intercepted by Pioneer, but fired by Kowalczyk back into the Pioneer zone. In along the end boards, Lipinski has it there, trying to backhand it out in front. Cass gets a glove on it. 7:52 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Irish with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off will be in the Pioneer zone, that in the far face-off circle. At the Cass's right. The officials talking things over with the scorer's bench, as the official talks to both benches. As we'll have a face-off in the far face-off circle in the Pioneer zone. Kosikian to take the face-off versus Ward. Shot as that goes, saved by Cass into the far corner. Controlled by the Irish. Reiser trying to get to it. Loose on that far circle. Shot, save. Trying to get it, and they put it in as Cass made the first save, but the Irish chip away at it and get it back, and that's 3-0 Irish at 7:37 as Dumpy gets the goal. Irish up 3-0, 7:37. We'll see what the assists were like as Ward in versus Kosicki at the face-off, trying to bring it ahead with Sutton. Controlled by Cesarini, fires it down the far side of the neutral zone. Dumpy brings it into the Pioneer zone as that's into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Brought back behind, centering attempt into the near corner. Trying to hold it in is Cesarini. That drops back into the neutral zone, fired right back into the Pioneer zone. At the Pioneer blue line, Reiser has it, top of the far circle with the shot that goes into the near corner. As Dumpy trying to pull it in along into the near corner. Kosicki in there as well. The puck loose underneath the near circle shot. Cass with a save and another save. It's a flurry of shots. Irish keeping pressure on Pioneers. 7 minutes left to go here in the second. 3-0. Irish with the lead. Face off in the near face off circle. That to Cass's left. So Kosicki and Reiser on the assist on the Dumpy goal. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That the high slot in the near corner that's sent by Usyk into the far corner. Lipinski outside the far circle of the Pioneer zone. Lipinski moves it back into the far corner. Now back to Eder at the far point. That shot! That comes wide just onto the near circle. Deflected out in front. As Wilkins coming down the far boards of his own zone. Over his own blue line, Wilkins. Over center ice, Wilkins into the zone. Wilkins cleared away from the slot by Eder, who fires it quickly ahead the other direction. As the puck, top of the far circle. Lipinski with the shot. Over, shot by Kosicki, who puts it in. As that's going to be another assist to Lipinski as his shot saved by Cass, but that deflected over to his left and sat right out there for Kosicki to knock it in. And it's 6:22, now 4-0. Irish with the lead, 2 goals in the first, now 2 goals in the second. As Holton to take the faceoff for Pioneer, Armstrong to his left, Sutton to his right. Naughton on the other side for the Irish. Puck comes, fired ahead by Miller into the Irish zone on the near circle. As that pulled ahead, Scherbeck sends it along the far boards. Now Palmer back to Scherbeck. Scherbeck on the near circle of his own zone. Sutton providing pressure. That rimmed around to Palmer and along the far boards. Palmer gets it into the neutral zone. Deflects back to the Pioneer blue line. So Lipinski and Eder on the assist for the Kowalczyk goal. Here comes Armstrong down the near boards, tipped away from him. Nelson trying to get to it. Back to Armstrong outside the far circle of the Irish zone. Palmer picks it up back behind his own goal, sends it outside the near circle. Nelson trying to chip it ahead. Now Naughton battling. Armstrong on the near circle. Now Rowe holds it in and puts it into the near corner. Palmer fires it around the boards, held in at the far point by Miller. That fired into the slot. Top of the near circle, gathered up by Palmer. Palmer down the near boards for the Irish. Deflected back by Holt into the Irish zone, but a whistle. 5:11 left to go here in the second. 4-0. Irish with the lead. Face-off is going to come outside the Irish zone in the near face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off. Wilkins to his left as that won by Amos coming ahead with it. White puts it down the far boards. Edwards chips it right back to the Irish blue line. Moved along the near boards. Cesarini has it over his own, stops, now fires it over his own blue line. Right to center ice, trying to bring it back in. Here comes Commutin, pulled by White back behind his own goal into the far corner, out to the Irish blue line. Pulled ahead by Stevens down the near board for the Irish. Fired deep into the Pioneer zone. Cass sticks it into the far corner. Back to the far point. White trying to hold it into the Pioneer zone. Able to get it at the near point. Now coming ahead with it, Mazzotti. All the way back. Here comes Pioneer. Gains his own. Pioneer in the slot. Commutin checked off with the puck, and that's sent all the way back to the near point. Sanborn holds it in at the near point. Stevens trying to get it. Commutin. Centering attempt right through the slot. Yang trying to pull that away. The puck gathered, top of the near circle in the Irish zone by Sanborn. Sticked away by Benowitz. Top of the far circle. Edwards with a shot. That goes back behind the Irish goal. Now Stevens rockets it, but held in at the near point by Sanborn. Commutin trying to get to it. Stevens gets it into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Wilkins at center ice. Drifts back to his own blue line. Wilkins comes down the far boards of the neutral zone into the Irish zone. Wilkins taking off the puck into the near corner. Wilkins sends it right back behind Benowitz into the far corner as Ward trying to get to it there. Puck into the near corner, trying to bring ahead is White. Now Stevens backhands it all the way down the neutral zone into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Dumpy with it there. That on the side of the Pioneer goal, covered up by Cass. 3:27 left to go here in the second. 4-0. Pioneer with the lead. Or Pioneer with the lead. Irish with the lead on Pioneer, excuse me. Wishful thinking. As the Irish shutting out Pioneer. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Reiser in to take the face-off. On the other side, Ward shot by Dumpy goes into the far corner. Now Garcia trying to pull it off of the boards as Kosicki into the far corner. And puck sent all the way back into the neutral zone. Floats back over to Benowitz. Benowitz stops it for Eder. Eder on the near circle of his own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Garcia. Gets it all the way along the far boards of the neutral zone. Friedman trying to fire it ahead. Now Ward chips it right to center ice. As the Irish bring it into the Pioneer zone, Kosicki into the far corner, trying to avoid Friedman. Center attempt comes onto the near circle. Eder with a shot. And into the slot. Ward trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the near point by Dumpy up into the netting. As that makes its way to a couple Irish students back behind the goal. 2:45 left to go here in the second. 4-0 Irish with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's left. As Kowalczyk in to take the face-off for the Irish. Commuting on the other side. As that puck over, and good job to knock that away by Friedman, stealing away a good opportunity from the Irish. The puck outside the far circle now comes over at the near point, held in by Scherbeck, sent right back behind the Pioneer goal. Friedman fires it around, trying to get it around the boards, but that's pinned right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now Friedman has it chipped away as Kowalczyk on the far circle of the Pioneer zone. Shot, saved by Cass, and deflected into the near corner. Ress trying to pull it out as Lipinski back behind the Pioneer goal. Battling back there with Commutin. 2:07 left to go here in the second. Irish have it, top of the far circle in the Pioneer zone. There's a one-timer that went off of a skate. That went off of Ress's skates. As that deflects back in along the near boards. Ress fires it all the way back to the Irish blue line. Fired ahead by Scherbeck. Back into the Pioneer zone on the far circle. Commutin with it there. Commutin. And stolen away by Lipinski. Shot deflects. Bouncing puck. Coming over as that fired and put in Cass made a couple nifty saves, but the Irish stuck with it and fired it in, and they have the 5-0 lead. 1:36 left to go here in the second period. Three goals so far by the Irish here in the second period. Gives them the 5-0 lead on Pioneer. Face-off at center ice as Naughton taking the face-off versus Ward. Lipinski with the goal. As Kulik and Kowalczyk on the assist. Pioneer has it back behind their own goal. Pull back to the near point. Cesarini has it outside the near circle. Now Naughton into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Nelson trying to fire it. That held in by Cesarini at the near point shot. And it makes its way in. I think Nelson tipped it. That makes it 6-0 as a bounce out in front. Cass didn't even see it coming. As that is a goal at 1:04 by the Irish. And we'll see if it was tipped out in front. As 4 goals now here in the second. And it's a 6-0 lead by the Irish. As ever since 7:37 in the second, 4 goals in 6 minutes for the Irish. Miller brings it ahead over center ice. As Cesarini gets the goal unassisted, there's a tripping penalty upcoming. This one will be to the Irish as the Irish have the 6-0 lead with 54.2 seconds left to go. As tripping the call, Steven goes into the box at 54.2. So Pioneer has the power play face-off in the near face-off circle. As that puck fired, held in back behind the goal. Yang has it into the far corner. Yang battling Eder coming down the far boards as the puck in along those far boards. Now Lipinski comes over his own blue line. Lipinski moves it over to Kulik. Kulik back over to Lipinski. Lipinski comes in. Saved by Cass. The puck in along the near boards, bringing it ahead. Here comes Holt. Holt into the near circle. Brought back, Commutin. Backhanded attempt and brought into the near corner of the Irish zone. Sanborn comes to pinch, trying to keep it in. Now here comes the Irish, 13 seconds left. Lipinski, top of the near circle in the Pioneer zone, moves it over on the far circle. Eder with a shot. Comes outside the near circle into the near corner. Husick with it. Husick back behind the Pioneer goal. 1 second, and that will do it. 4 goals for the Irish in the second, and they break it open 6-0 on Pioneer. We'll play a little bit of push on and come back with our second period intermission scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Now it's time for our intermission scoreboard report. As taking a look at action from last Saturday, it was Alpena beating University of Liggett 7-2. Trenton beat Calumet 3-2. It was Grand Rapids Catholic Central doubling up St. Edward's 6-3. One goal win by Detroit Country Day, 3-2 over the Bay Reps. It was Jeffers shutting out East Merrill 4-0. Flint Powers fell to St. Ignace 3-2 over Flint Powers. It was De La Salle beating Traverse City Central 3-2. Livonia Stevenson with a 1-goal win over Marquette 2-1. It was the M1 Griffins doubling up Farmington United 8-4. Manistee beat Gaylord by 4 goals 5-1. It was Hudsonville topping East Kentwood by 5 goals 6-1. Notre Dame Academy beat Detroit Catholic Central by a score of 2-1. It was Holton with a 1-goal win over Lake Forest Academy, 3-2. Tawas shut out Lakeshore by a score of 5-0. It was Matawan beating Big Rapids 5-3. Midland with the 3-goal win over Novi, 5-2. It was Grand Haven with the 6-goal win over Traverse City West, 8-2. Sault Ste. Marie 3, West Ottawa 2. It was the Thumb Area Legion beating Bishop Foley United 7-3. Forest Hill Central topped Midland down by a score of 3-1. It was Howell with the 2-goal win over Port Huron Northern 5-3. Romeo beat Sheboygan 5-2. It was the University of Detroit Jesuit taking it to East Grand Rapids 4-1. Brother Rice beat Mona Shores 4-1. It was a 1-goal win. Southline Unified beating Lenawee 3-2. Jensen and Reefs Puffers ended up in a 2-2 tie. Couldn't settle it in overtime. It was Divine Child with a 1-goal win over Woodhaven, 8-7. We know about Pioneer beating Huron. Lumen Christi doubled up Jackson 4-2. It was Utica Eisenhower with a 1-goal win over St. Clair Shores, Unified 3-2. Lake Orion beat Grand Rapids Christian 4-3. It was Allen Park with an 8-goal win over Southgate Anderson at 9-1. Heartland doubled up Byron Center 6-3. It was Northview with a 4-goal win over the Kalamazoo Eagles 5-1. Grosse Pointe South tripled up Forest Hills Northeastern 6-2. It was Grosse Ile 4 and Wyandotte Roosevelt 2. White Lake Lakeland beat Fenton Linden by 3 goals 4-1. It was Western Pinckney beating Anchor Bay 6-1. Hancock Bulldogs beat Escanaba 5-3. It was Father Gabriel Richard shutting out Skyline 10-0. Grand Blanc doubled up Temperance Bedford 6-3. It was Rochester United with the 1-goal win over Bloomfield Hills 3-2. FMV Griffins beat Troy United 5-2. It was Birmingham United with the 1-goal win over Clarkston 3-2. Mid-Michigan fell to New Boston United 7-4. It was Eastside beating Kalamazoo United 7-2. Chelsea shut out Dexter 6-0. It was Livonia Churchill with a 5-goal win over Grosse Pointe North 7-0. Gabriel Richard Riverview shut out Brighton 5-0. It was the Orchard Lake St. Mary's beating Saginaw Heritage 4-1. Marysville beat North Oakland 4-1, and it was Walled Lake Northern beating Lakes Area 3-2. All that action on Saturday. Taking a look, 3 games on Sunday, so a light schedule. New Boston United shut out Mid-Michigan 8-0. It was Rochester Stony Creek tripling up Farmington United 6-2, and Perrysburg with a 5-goal win over Temperance Bedford 6-1. Games happening on Monday, 6 of them. Cadillac beat Lakeshore 9-3. It was Father Gabriel Richard doubling up Grosse Ile 6-3. 1-goal win by FNV Griffins over Milford 4-3. Genesee with a 3-goal win over Tawas 4-1. It was Grosse Pointe South doubling up University of Detroit Jesuit 4-2, and Plymouth beating Skyline 6-3. Action yesterday, 3 games in the books. Port Huron Northern fell to St. Clair Shores Unified 3-2. It was Midland shutting out Genesee 6-2. Utica Ford beat Leanne Crease Unified 4-2. It was University of Detroit Jesuit shutting out Grosse Pointe North 9-0. The University Liggett and Detroit Country Day ended up in a 4-4 tie. Hancock Bulldogs shut out Negaunee 1-0. It was Midland with a 4-goal win over South Line Unified 9-5. Marysville beat the Thumb Area Region 5-4. New Boston United fell to Riverview Cabrini 7-5. It was White Lake Lakeland beating Western Pinckney 5-2. 1-goal win by Woodhaven over Gibraltar Carlson 4-3, and Escanaba tripled up the DePierre Voyagers of Wisconsin 6-2. That is your intermission scoreboard report. Here at the second intermission, it is 6-0. The Irish in the lead. If they get 2 more goals and Pioneer does not answer back, the Irish will get the mercy win, as if there's a 8-goal differential at any time in the third, the game is over. So Pioneer will fight trying to cut into that 6-goal lead, while the Irish will try and close things out. How about a few messages from the MHSAA? You are watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor
Where
Broadcasting.
can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We do want to talk about the biggest fundraising event of the Pioneer athletic season. It is the Ann Arbor Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash. Save the date, as it will be April 15th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. Again, there will be lots of things, baskets you can bid on that each team will put together, and we will come over and have that. As I'm seeing an issue with our, let me try and fix whatever's going on. There it goes, popped up. As I'm wondering if it was just my, looks like we have a little poor network health. Hopefully that will come back. I'm going to, so anyway, save the date for the Pioneer Booster Bash. See if we can play a few messages from the MHSAA. Looks like it's going to come back here as our network health coming back, checking. And looks like it's going to be good there. All right, so that should correct itself momentarily. Just had a little bit of a blip in the Wi-Fi. And we will get going in just a few moments.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As both teams out of the locker room. 1 minute, 6 seconds left on the Pioneer power play. 17 minutes up on the clock. Irish with the 6-0 lead. Pioneer going to try and chip into that. As Pioneer going from left to right here in this third period. Pioneer already doing better. This team getting better and better as time goes by. The first game these two teams played all the way at the beginning of the season was 9-0 Irish, so that means that the Irish had that 9-goal lead going into the third, so that ended the game. As we will bring that up, the puck get along the far boards, fired all the way back by Husick and gathered up by Ress. Ress fires it down the near boards. Rowe has it on the near circle of his own zone, trying to avoid Reiser. As Holt backhands it in along the far boards. Ress fires it ahead. Sutton chases it on the far circle, and that slips right through the slot. The puck back to the near point, now brought back Whistle. As a Pioneer player slow to get up, back behind the play. As that is Sutton who is up, and we're happy to see that. 42 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 16:35 left to go here in the third. 6-0. Irish with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle outside of the Irish zone. As Holt in to take the face-off versus Kosicki. That comes all the way back in along the end boards of the Pioneer zone. Ress has it back behind his own goal. Ress now trying to avoid pressure by Kosicki. Gets it over to Wilkins. Wilkins outside the near circle, brings it over his own blue line. Wilkins goes over center ice. Wilkins brings it ahead, comes outside the far circle. Wilkins puts it in along the end boards, right back behind the Irish goal. Wilkins underneath the near circle. Now poked off the puck as Eder trying to get to it. Wilkins fires it out in front as going down. That saved by Benowitz. As the Irish back to full strength. 15:52 left to go here in the third. 6-0 Irish with the lead. Pioneer has it back behind their own goal. Yang trying to gather it up. The puck wouldn't settle down. Gets it over to Wilkins outside the far circle. Wilkins bringing it ahead. That tipped as the Irish coming in as shot and saved by Cass as that pulled back over as Mazzotti had a point-blank attempt. As that knocked away, Irish shot from the far circle, comes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Dumpy trying to get it into the near corner. Heavy checks into the near corner. That comes down the near boards of the neutral zone. As Kowalczyk trying to get it going the other direction. That's sent right back into the Pioneer zone. Cass stops it, fires it to the near point of his own zone. As Holt trying to get it into the neutral zone. That fired all the way back into the Irish end. Kowalczyk chips it ahead as here comes Mazzotti. Mazzotti right at the blue line, hands it over to Kowalczyk on the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Tipped away, the puck outside the near circle, and trying to pull it away is Sutton. Now brought ahead, Friedman has it. As Whistle. 14:46 left to go here in the third, 6-0. Irish with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That's going to be to Cass's right. As trying to see who's going to come in and take the Pioneer on the penalty kill at 14:47. Looks like. Nope, no, all five. Just someone's sitting in the penalty box. As that pulled back over, the puck back behind the goal. Oh, offsetting penalties. That pulled back behind by Naughton, back behind the goal, underneath the far circle. Naughton has it for the Irish. Naughton loses an edge. Commutin trying to get it away. Now Friedman fires it around the boards outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Garcia trying to get to it. That pulled right back behind by Nelson. Nelson, as it pulled away, that fired around. Back to the near point. Held in by Palmer. Palmer. It's it. Edwards trying to pull that away. Nelson has it underneath the far circle. Back to the far point. Sherbeck. Top of the far circle for Nelson. That's sticked away by Cass into the near corner. Palmer pinned against the boards. Garcia trying to get it out of there. That comes into the slot. Shot by Nelson. Saved by Cass. That puck rimmed all the way outside the far circle. Fired ahead by Armstrong. That comes all the way down. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. 13:41 left to go here in the third. 6-0. Irish with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off is going to be in the Pioneer zone. And to the left. And to the left of Cass. As face-off in the far face-off circle. Holt in to take the face-off. So high sticking called on 2 players. So incidental minors. So we stay at 5-on-5 hockey. The puck in the slot. Moved over by Kulik into the far corner. White sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal for Lipinski. Lipinski underneath the far circle. That comes all the way outside the near circle. Eder with a shot that goes just wide to the far side. As Kowalczyk into the near corner of the Pioneer zone for the Irish. In along the near boards. Pioneer trying to chip away at it back to the near point. Held in by Eder. The puck loose top of the near circle. And that fire back into the neutral zone. Coming down the far boards is Wilkins. And trying to send it the other direction. It's Usyk now backhanded by Holt. But that goes into the Irish bench. 13:03 left to go here in the third. 6-0. Irish with the lead. Face off at center ice. Commuting in to take the face off versus Kosicki. As that puck, Miller trying to get it fired by Reiser back in the Pioneer zone. Comes in along the far boards, bringing it ahead is Armstrong. Armstrong trying to fire it deep, right back behind the goal into the near corner. Armstrong pinned against the boards by Kosicki. Armstrong with a shot that just goes high. Sanborn holds it in at the near point of the Irish zone. The puck loose on the far circle. Miller backhands it in the high slot. Miller gets it back top of the far circle, but that pulled away by the Irish. Coming down the far boards is Reiser. Reiser into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn trying to chip it away from him as that puck right along the end boards in the Pioneer end. 2:22 left to go here in the third. 6-0. Irish with the lead as that puck right back behind Cass. Bringing it ahead, chipped in along the near boards, trying to lift it out, Commuting. As Kosicki takes it right back behind Cass. Out in front, shot! And they score as Dunphy gets a pass from right behind the goal. There is nothing Cass could do about that. Just a point-blank shot from the low slot, and it is now 7-0 Irish at the 12:05 mark. If the Irish score once more without Pioneer scoring, that will be all she wrote. As Dunphy with the second goal of the game. That puck all the way back behind Cass. As Wilkins has it there, trying to avoid pressure back behind by Stevens. Down the far boards, here comes Holt. Coming in, shot and a save. As Wilkins came in with a shot, another save. As that comes over the crossbar. As Holt had an opportunity, but a whistle and a penalty. Roughing the call at 11:37. As it is going to be a penalty to the Irish. As Stevens goes into the box for roughing. Face off in the Irish zone. Or that's going to be on Benowitz. Stevens is serving the penalty, but Benowitz gets the call. As that puck on the near circle back. Outside the near circle, Commuting gets it back to Wilkins. Now outside the near circle, Commuting trying to hold it in. Lipinski gets it out down the neutral zone, down the near boards. Lipinski into the Pioneer zone. Lipinski in the slot, shot. Cass with the save. The puck on the far circle, bringing it ahead. Pioneer feeds it down the neutral zone, fired right back to the Pioneer blue line. Now racing ahead with it is Ress. Ress gets it into the Irish zone, but pulled right away. All the way back, Lipinski has it back behind his own goal. Lipinski bringing it through his own slot, loses it, and moved by Armstrong, but Lipinski steals it away. Now coming down the far boards, here comes Kulik. Kulik on the far circle coming in, shot, and they score, and that will do it. As that is the final goal. As 8-0, the Irish win. Lipinski put it in on a shorthanded goal. As the third is the Irish win versus Pioneer 8-0. We will be back tomorrow as we will have Pioneer men's hockey versus Saline here. Jeff Cass will be on the call for us, as I will be over at the Pioneer main gym, as it will be Pioneer women's JV hockey at 5:30 and varsity at 7 o'clock. I will have that, so we'll have both of those games for you. Final 8-0 here from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. The Irish win, but again, Pioneer taking them to 10:47 into the third, better than they did the first time they faced this team. This young team getting better, trying to grow. It's just going to take some time for them to get there. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very, very much for your support of these wonderful and amazing athletes. Thank you, and have a great rest of your evening. Good night.